Hello, and welcome to Twin Peaking, where I show my friend Jay Kirsten Twin Peaks in order of my least favorite to favorite episodes, and we see if she can figure out what Twin Peaks is about. If you find yourself enjoying the show, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And that includes to Jay Kirsten at twitch.tv/JKIRSTYN. That'll also be in the description below. Without further ado, let's get started. Again, the clap doesn't actually help me. It's literally just the 3, 2, 1 that I sync up because it doesn't come through on the audio.
Okay.
All right. And now time to minimize my own projector here. And then
Most quietest clap.
Yep. All right. Ready? 3,
Yes.
2, 1. Oh, I guess I should have also given a warning to Miss and if anyone jumps in halfway through the movie, that we will be talking throughout it. I mean, that's the point, but like, yeah,
Fair warning.
Should make that clear.
Yes. All right, Laura.
What you are about to see are missing pieces,
Ooh, wait, this is kind of cool.
deleted or extended scenes.
Okay.
I've told this story before, and I don't think it's going to make it into the main podcast because I told it end of last time we watched this. But when I first watched Fire Walk with Me, I tried to watch it through Internet Archive, and it cut off that first part of it and only showed this part, Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me.
That's funny.
And so I thought it was the actual movie until like there's a fight scene in here that'll come up in a little bit. And that's when I was like, this can't be the real movie, right? and I looked into it and it wasn't. And yes, that is Chris Isaac and Kiefer Sutherland. Okay, flashing
shit.
lights are going to be as the scene cuts. And
Okay.
I'll let you guys know when it's over. If you're sensitive to that. I don't think you've heard that name before,
No.
Teresa Banks.
Nope, I have not.
I want that name tag. The say hello, cross out goodbye to Jack. For clarification, this was the scene that got me to be like, this can't be the real movie. like if you watched all of that, you're like,
Okay, sure.
like, well, like imagine you didn't know it was deleted scenes. What would you be thinking about this movie?
Like, there's a lot of missing kind of deal.
Yeah. Like I always heard David Lynch was a weird director, and this is like his first movie of his I'd ever seen. So I was like, is this just what he's like when he has no one to rein him in?
The
No.
only way you're going to get that body out of here. I think I'll take off my badge as well.
Man, Chris Isaac's hot.
Oh. So violent. Poor Agent Desmond.
I know, and it's like a sucker punch. He was
Yeah. That was rude.
so I love hate. Like I hate it, but I think it's very good at being very creepy. The way that he like swivels with his head kind of still staying in the same
I was
spot.
about to say, that's the
Like,
first
it's-
thing I noticed.
Like it's upset. Like that form is bad for fighting, but like it is very good for being super creepy.
Agent Desmond! You're a freaking FBI agent! Oh, nice.
All you needed was your encouragement.
Yeah!
Yeah, this is... Normally in like movies and stuff, you get a fight scene, you're like, oh, what an amazing fight scene. This feels like you're watching two people outside of like a bar. Yeah, you know.
Oh my god.
Come on, get your hands up. Yeah, I think it goes without saying why this scene was cut.
I
but
can
love
see
it.
why the scene was cut. Yeah. It's going on just a little too long. Just a little bit. It's pretty one-sided too. So
Yeah. Yeah, there's not like
it's
a
not even
threat.
a fight. It's not even a fight. It's just one guy getting beat up.
I mean, it takes real skill to look that uncomfortable in your own body. Like your body's not yours.
This one's coming from J. Edgar.
Ooh.
Kind of a different FBI agent than we get from Cooper, huh?
Yeah.
Now he picks up the bar to show why he picked it up in the first place. Like, yeah, I can also bend them. He did say the only way you're gonna get that body out of
Yeah,
here
to the
is
body,
through
yes,
me.
but like
Yes.
I still don't know why he has to fight for the body though.
Yeah,
Like-
or who the body is really.
Yes.
Or
Oh, Cooper.
yeah,
Here.
that was
Oh.
just extended.
Reflect our image.
It's the guy with long hair
It is, and the dancing man as well.
and the guy with the yeah. It's a bad guy hangout.
Why do you assume they're all bad? What part about the 6 you think it's bad?
Maybe it could be the evil thing. I think it's that guy.
Oh, the man with the long nose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Igor.
Oh my goodness. Mr. Long Nose himself. Something I want to make clear is that there wasn't a cut between those two. Like in the big edit, it is he walks away and then this happens.
Oh, okay.
Garman Bosley. Is this the Farmica table? Hey, is this discovered?
He said the title! He said the title!
Does the title make any more sense to you?
No, it does not. Unfortunately. Was that Teresa or is that Laura?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, you haven't met Gordon either.
Nope.
I'm not going to talk about Judy. In fact, we're not going to talk about Judy at all. I know, could stand fast. Who do you think that is there? Some bumps in the old noggin, eh, Phil? What the hell did he say, Albert? That's Special Agent Dale Cooper. Where the hell have you been, Jeffrey? I sure as hell want to tell you everything, but I ain't got a whole lot to go on. But I will tell you one little bitty thing. Judy is positive about this.
Oh, interesting. I thought we were going to leave Judy out.
Albert, sit down, Jeffries.
Take out your earbuds, dude. Like, fuck.
Oh, he's hearing impaired. Those are hearing aids.
Oh, those are not earbuds. Mm.
Yeah. He's played by
see.
David Lynch.
Oh, okay.
David Lynch wasn't hearing impaired, just the character. Just to clarify.
I see. Okay, okay.
That's why he's yelling.
Yeah, I thought he was yelling because his music was too loud.
No, but that's very funny too.
They sat quietly for hours. I followed. Ring. The ring. Albert, I'll take that second mineral water. Philip, let's calm down here and get all this interesting story on paper. Hello? 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 Give me some good news. Cooper, the device has gone faulty. Can anybody hear me? Mayday! Mayday! February 1989. What? Am I alone in here?
Oh.
He's gone! What?
Oh, okay. That was a very uncomfortable angle to get in.
Yes.
Ooh.
Correct. Wait, here does this take place? Twin Peaks, the show itself, takes place in 1990.
Okay.
Oh, Mr. Jeffries! Oh, the shit that come out of my ass.
What?
Where did you go? ¡Ayúdeme! ¡Ayúdeme! Bobby the football?
Yeah, the football.
Ooh, Bobby and Mike.
Yeah, we're two people that you know.
Yeah.
This the electricity is speaking to you, miss.
It's not funny, Sonny. Look, Snake. I have the Coke, alright?
Yeah, you better have it.
All right, so I think now is a good time to address that Donna had to be recast for the movie.
Oh, so that's supposed to be Donna with the short
Yep.
hair.
Yeah, Moira Kelly.
I'll walk with you.
I'm walking with Laura.
Oh, and that's Laura.
You're tough to handle.
Yeah,
That's why you need a real man.
you
like
finally get to see her.
Yeah, that she's not dead or in a picture frame.
Yep.
you. Man.
Mike is the man. Laura Palmer. I'll see you later.
Is it because Donna's actor was too busy? Is that why? For the
Yeah, maybe.
You know, there's rumors that, she was a bit difficult to work with, but simultaneously no one has confirmed that, and everybody says that she was busy with movies at the time. And it does line up with some of the work she was getting. So it's
okay.
hard to know.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Cigarette. Mom, can I ride the car? Sure. What is the hurry? Oh, I forgot my books.
Laura!
I didn't say it at the time, but the last scene played the theme song, which made me happy.
Laura!
Yeah.
You will never be a smoker if you don't start. I'm in it.
Good mom.
Sure. I really relate to the absent-headedness of being like, oh, running off and then be like, no, you forgot the keys, and coming back for the keys and still forgetting that you just switch out the cigarette. Like I get that.
How about those school books?
Why is he walking?
Hello, Sarah. Hello, Laura. Where's my ex? I'm hungry!
Okay, Mr. Giant.
He's just a normal, slightly embarrassing dad.
Higley och Rotterdam, jag heter Leland Palmer.
What?
The Norwegians are coming next week. And I'd like you both to learn something that I just learned in Norwegian. I'd like you both to learn to say, hello, how are you? My name is Leland Palmer.
But my name isn't Leland Palmer.
Neither is mine. Can't we talk about something serious for a change?
This is serious, my dear. Mr. Benjamin Horn is expecting a delegation of Norwegians in town next week. And I'd like you both to be able to introduce yourself. Now, Sarah, you first.
I'm glad we're watching this after we watched the last episode.
Higley?
Yeah, there's no way I was going to show you this before we got to season 1.
Here, Heather.
Sarah Palmer.
Okay, honey, now. That's very good. We'll practice some more. You try it, okay? Higley och Rotterdam.
Higle Omotedem.
So I will say there's some scenes that I think are super important. The
Hater.
electricity scene,
Laura.
this scene
All together.
should have been in the movie.
Hold hands.
I will fight for this scene to be in the movie.
Higley och Rotterdam. Jag heter Leland Palmer. Higley och Rotterdam.
dad's very eccentric.
Yeah.
Aww. Wait, this scene's sad knowing what happens to Laura. I mean, we don't know what happened to Laura, but like, this is sad. Oh.
Yeah, it's part of why I think it should have been in the movie, is that emotion
Yeah,
exactly.
that's fair. Aww. No. This is the first thing I've seen of lumber.
Oh, yeah.
And this is a lumber town.
Yep.
Oh, that's Catherine's husband and Josie.
Yeah. God, I love her hairstyle with that in. Like, it's so cute.
It's too small. I want a 2x4.
I don't understand how this could have happened.
What's going on? I ordered a 2x4.
None of the pieces are 2x4.
It's all very simple. You see, Mr. Mibbler, the wood comes in over here and it goes out over there. Now, when it's over here, it's exactly 2x4. But when it comes out over there, it's exactly 1 9/16 by 3 9/16. It's that way all over our land.
You admitted that.
2x4 hasn't been a 2x4 since the invention of the plane cutting a planer.
We're not trying to cheat you.
I've already alerted
If it was,
in Portland.
if it was 2x4, it wouldn't fit anything. You couldn't build a decent doghouse with it. Now, wood cutting has to be uniform, accurate.
I wanted a 2x4
I'm so glad I know this about wood. I didn't know this about wood until like a couple months ago. And so now this scene makes sense to me now. If we watched this a couple months ago, I would not understand what was going on.
But even they can.
That's so funny. I didn't know this about Wood until this scene. So, like,
I mean, we could end up in the courthouse illegally or something.
International. I want a 2x4.
I just love the additional.
Your bank. Is $1 still worth what it used to be?
What does that have to do with anything? Pete, you're doing a terrible job of explaining this.
He works at a bank.
Oh.
I see what you
Yeah.
so sorry.
Oh my god. Just like, I love that scene. It absolutely should have been cut.
Oh, there's Norma and Shelby.
Yeah. What was your plan, Nadine? You came to this diner.
Don't worry, Norma. The diner's thriving a year from now. Don't worry. Yes, you tell him, Norma. Fuck Leo.
Fuck Leo. You've only experienced a little bit of it, but I love their relationship. It's so cute.
Mm-hmm. Very motherly daughter.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, seeing the diner, like, Oh, it's so sad seeing the diner empty like this. I know, like, a year from now, it's fine. It's just, like, seeing it in this moment is really sad.
So you think we're seeing a year before Laura dies?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because Laura is... Yes, I do think it's a year.
Okay.
We know! Oh, Norma, no! Don't cry! My sweetheart, Norma, no! Don't cry. Oh. Yes!
I should let you know this is actually a year past when the movie started, so this is before like at the time of so it's literally weeks later that this is the way it is. Not a year.
What is it?
Weeks later of what? Past, like, when the movie started?
Yes. So
like when with Agent
said,
Desmond? Okay.
Yes.
Laura, how about one friend for the rest of your whole life?
And that's supposed to be Donna.
Yes.
Okay.
Even when I just think about your face, I get happier.
Me too. I like that you replace Laura Flynn Boyle.
Shoes on the couch. Ugh, disgusting.
I know. I mean, they're wearing shoes in a carpeted house in the first place.
Ugh.
Why is it you can't smoke in your home? I'm a doctor, don't allow smoking in my home, and I let you smoke in my home.
Because you love me so much.
I do love you. No smoking whippersnapper.
Yes. Yeah, she's got a safe space. Oh, right, right. That's right. What was the prescription for? But, like, did he say... Okay, he didn't really say what it was.
This is right here.
That's not a drug, though! I want to know what the drug is, Mac! What is she taking? Oh. Oh. So it's not a prescription. Okay. I see. I was very annoyed. I was like, why don't you say the drug? Some cryptic ass way. And that's why you go to pharmacy school, so you know what the frick these doctors are talking about. Oh my god.
No, Donna, you're right. I'm the muffin.
Yeah, she's high out of her mind. Oh my god. That's true. this stupid thing. I don't like it here. Oh. Ooh. This is the first time I've seen Coop passing this interdimensional kind of realm.
Is this
Oh.
So that does make sense. Because David Lynch is huge in Japan.
I see.
Like so big. I know he influenced Silent Hill, influenced the modern Persona games. So wait, hey, Seven? No, which one? Seven, which one?
You need to outline which person you're talking about, Seven.
So now you can get to know him as the Arm.
and I sound like this?
Seven, that doesn't help. They're both in suits. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. That's the kindest thing you've ever said to me. Yes.
Don't take the
Bruh.
ring.
You would win, Seven.
Absolutely not. Seven's never stabbed a person. I have. And I think out of everyone, I've won the most recent fight. This scene absolutely should be in there. It's so freaky, and I love it.
Laura fan.
Did you? Sorry, we were talking about me stabbing someone. Did you catch what he said?
No.
Oh, he was there, and he said, "I want to taste through your mouth."
Oh.
I love this scene. It's so fucking creepy, man. I know I'm ruining it by talking, but like, God, like it's actually upsetting for me.
Now I can't find my blue sweater. Did you take it again? Mom? What? What are you wearing?
Yeah. What kind of ice cream? And I think if there's a scene that it most encapsulates the original movie, it is this scene. This absolutely fits the vibe.
Mom, it's happening again.
Vanilla bean, that's my favorite.
No, it's not. Just sit down.
I think think that may be my favorite scene in the Missing Pieces.
That fan scene?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yay! I love them. I love them so much. Their circumstances suck. They're shitty for that, but I love them together.
God, I love how into it you are. It's
called PTB.
Really highlighting the wedding ring.
The
there.
ring. I noticed her.
No, I think isn't that her right hand? So.
Oh, maybe it is her right hand.
So maybe not wedding ring.
I think I like them because they have such like a teenage love about them, which is odd because this show is filled with teenagers. But all of the relationships of the teenagers are very adult, whereas these two together are very like there's like a puppy love aspect about them that I really like. I think that's why I like them so much.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's cute. I never thought of it that way. Mostly because I don't think that the teenager ones are very adult. I agree with. I get what you mean. Like there's a saccharine sweetness to them specifically of like.
Yes.
Yeah, that I fully agree with.
Like if I had to describe them with a song, Norma's song would be Teenage Dream by Katy Perry.
Oh my god. I don't know about that, but fair enough.
Who's that guy?
Who are either of these guys? Yeah.
Who are either of these guys?
Oh, the funs of just watching the deleted scenes, huh? It's so funny, the missing context that you have for this scene. Because I'm debating telling you something. I think it's be spoilers, so I'm going to hold on to it and cut this. This isn't me. Oh, there it is.
Oh, Canada and US of fucking A.
Yeah. But yeah, this is in Canada.
I see.
And to disappoint Miss, that's where we miss out on a little bit of lesbian stuff.
Oh, I see. No lesbians, miss.
Yeah. There's still some implied lesbian stuff. So hang in there. But
ooh. Interesting.
and obviously you know him, but what's really interesting is he's unlighting the candles.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Picking up the fire.
I can't imagine buying a magazine called Flesh World. Like, I don't care how horny you are and what hot women are waiting for you down the street. I would never purchase a magazine called Flesh World. But like, even just like calling it tits and ass would be better. Like Flesh World is just so gross. Also, this magazine says coast to coast. That means this is across the US, that tiny magazine of personal ads for people. That is such a small pool that you'd be drawing from for your sexual escapades.
That's not Donna.
No.
Oh.
You may recognize her name if it comes up. If not, I'll tell you, but Ronette Pulaski.
No, I don't remember who that is.
In the last episode we saw, she was the one in the coma.
Oh.
The one with the parents that had less acting skills.
Oh.
And there's your implied lesbian scene, miss. That's what you get. I don't know. Do you get withdrawals from cocaine? Is that one of those withdrawal drugs?
Sure.
I don't know enough.
I don't know drugs, so I'm not sure.
I know that like that's one of those ones that like it hits you like the way like for those who have addictive personalities they can become addicted to it, but generally speaking it's not one of the more addictive ones. But like outside of that I don't really know much about.
It's Hawk, my boy. Oh my gosh, my boys. Oh.
Yeah.
And Harry.
I notice you're leaving out Andy.
Andy.
He's coming in on foot. That's right,
Andy. What is
Your what is this is very much on Hawk's face as well. He's like, I
guess you're saying there's an awful lot of trails for us to cover. No, I was thinking what a long hike Bernie has to take.
Yeah, you do that, Hawk. Go do that, Hawk. Thank you.
Oh my god.
Thank you, Andy.
You can go now, Andy. Thank you.
He's working on it. He needed a thing. You can. On cocaine withdrawal, one becomes anxious, irritable, and agitated. Okay. Which tracks with what some of her stuff is. Yeah.
Okay.
But you remember from the last scene we watched, or the last episode we watched.
So this is right before Laura dies.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give you this if you don't stop fucking around. It's not one goddamn bit funny. I killed someone.
Ooh. Bobby killed someone?
Yeah, I mean, she did say Bobby killed a guy in that last episode that we saw. That's what James said.
I thought it was metaphorical, though. I thought it was metaphorical, like, you know, he beat someone up.
No, for sure.
I realized it was like for serious.
Yeah, no, that was one of the big twists of this movie that is getting spoiled for you, was that for the entire season, everyone's like, yeah, they're saying Bobby killed a guy, but look at him, he's like a nerd.
Yeah,
like he's a
look at
jock
him, yeah.
high schooler. And the big twist of this movie is like, he did kill somebody.
He actually did kill someone, okay. Yeah, because I thought it was metaphorical. That's why I thought it was...
but I won't spoil who or what or why, but like, yes. Because he brought it up here, I will clarify for you. He did kill somebody.
Okay.
I was listening to Espa recently.
Laxative! Shit! Fucking fuck!
Seems to be a common theme. And we did question forever ago whether you could taste cocaine and know if it was laxative.
We did.
Still a question if that's real or just a movie trick, but I don't know. I feel like 3 lines is a lot.
Yeah, 3 lines is a lot.
I mean, 1 line would probably be a lot for us, but like,
But for her,
yeah.
Well, you know, a little trouble with your parents is the least of your worries.
Is this the doctor? Oh, it is the doctor.
Something that I'm willing to put up with.
I'm not. Did you make me a tape? I already made you 2 tapes.
With the general.
He is specifically reading from Revelations of the Bible, which I don't know how familiar you are, is the upsetting apocalypse one at the end of the Bible.
Bobby's in the basement. Right where he belongs, right?
And when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast that sitteth out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, and shall overcome them and kill them.
Which is a troubling passage to read, knowing where this is
Yep.
going.
It's like, I'm like, this is foreshadowing. Man, really, Bobby really changes throughout the show.
Yeah.
I'm going home, Bobby.
Something that hasn't come up here,
Bed.
but that we have seen is that we know she's with other people.
Yeah.
James.
You don't want me. You want the blow, don't you? It's okay.
That's kind of heartbreaking. Like, he's just like, she's going through stuff, so this is understandable, but like, it's so rough for him being like, I know she's only with me for the cocaine.
For drugs, yeah.
Yeah.
My little rock friends, too.
And when's she gonna die? We're getting close.
You do feel, because she did say she's going to give him the money tomorrow.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
So I'm wondering, is it today? Oh, Lucy.
I was wondering what your reaction was going to be, and that was, I can't read into what you felt about that.
I'm mixed on Lucy. I'm mixed on her.
Yeah.
Yes, Lucy.
Okay.
I love that you're so
Okay.
done with them. They get 2 scenes that are cut, and you're like, nope, they shouldn't be in this either.
Looks like Bobby's car.
Kind of does, yeah. I think he has a different top though. Right, like that's a canvas top.
Right.
But Bobby's might be more of a muscle car.
Who dat? Is that Dick?
No, that's Leland. Her dad.
Oh.
Working
How
late.
come he looks so different?
The lighting. And she's trying to sneak out, so
Yeah, I
he's
know
the-
she's trying to sneak out, but I thought
Yeah.
that was someone. I didn't realize that was her dad.
Oh yeah. James, you idiot. Don't pull up right in front of the house with the loud bike.
Oh my god, James.
He's sweet, but he's so dumb.
But he's so dumb. Oh my god. Frick off.
Why?
I don't know why, but I just have this sense of dread every time the log lady comes up on screen.
Yeah, because she's not a good, like, she doesn't bear good omens, but that doesn't mean she's the issue.
Was that a body?
Is that the body?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Of Laura Palmer.
Oh. I don't know if I don't know.
Some months later.
There's been a bunch of dead people.
And I sound like this.
Why are you here, Coop? Why are you here?
I mean, that's the question, isn't it?
Where is the ring?
Teresa took it!
Someone else has this known.
You've met Annie. That's right.
I don't remember who Annie is, though.
Heather Graham, the one that he flirted with.
Oh.
When we were ripping on Billy Zane.
I see.
And then we were like, see, they have chemistry. These two don't.
No face to go. Fast home.
God, I'm so looking forward to editing the reactions to see what you look like during these scenes. Like, I'm literally jittery with anticipation of doing that. Kind of like how I felt when Josie died. Love when you can tell they didn't pay an extra to talk.
Yeah.
I mean, don't wear it. Put it in your pocket
Yeah.
first and get
And
out.
then go home and wear it. Yeah.
Exactly.
You're going right back to bed.
No, that too, but the doctor just told him to go back to bed when he definitely has a concussion.
I was about to say, he's bleeding from the head, Doc. What the hell? Okay.
The end.
Interesting. And then corn. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Ew, corn.
Yes. Kind of an Ash Williams vibe at the end there. I agree with that 100%. All right.
Okay.
We're gonna do this now, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So as I always start, what did you think of
Okay.
Missing Pieces?
Okay. It's interesting, right? Because I think, like, these are all deleted scenes, right?
Some of them are
And-
extended scenes, to be fair. So some of them
Extended
did
scenes.
make it in,
Okay.
but were extended.
Okay. Because a lot of them do seem pivotal to whatever freaking storyline is happening. Like, I am very... Oh, I have things to say, Mac. I have things to say.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
If you have a lot of things
I
to
don't know
say,
where
do
to
you want to get those
start.
off, or do we want to go by scenes like that were interesting to you to talk about? Or
I think we'll go by scene, and then when
Okay.
it comes up, I will say my thoughts.
okay,
Okay. So, going scene needed more lesbians, says Miss in the chat.
what I will say about that is that yes, that is something that to a degree the final cut does rectify to a degree.
Okay. Okay, scene by scene. Let's start with I guess the first group of scenes, which is
Yes.
the other FBI agents, which is Agent Desmond and Agent Stanley.
Correct.
I don't have much to say on it just because I can tell I'm missing context of like where they fit in with the movie.
Right.
And so I don't have much to say on them other than, you know, they show up. It's the first time that I hear of the name of Teresa Banks in the context of the movie.
Right.
And it's interesting because so I guess I'll jump ahead because I feel like I have to make
Sure.
the point of this first scene here. But
Gotcha.
I was when I watched this scene, I was under the impression that Teresa Banks was the dead body that the Agent Desmond and that other guy were fighting over at the beginning of the film. I mean, not film, deleted scene. I don't know.
Right.
I'm gonna call it a film. I'm gonna call the missing pieces of film.
Well, because you know, everyone kind of treats it like one because it's so
Like a
many
film.
deleted scenes, right?
Yeah.
But like
okay.
it is a film that like needs additional context, so it's hard to
Yes.
like rate it that way.
Yeah,
But-
exactly.
But you know, it's still structured closer to a film than it is like
right,
you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was surprised to see Teresa again later in the film, right? Because I was under the impression that the body that Agent Desmond and Stan were fighting over, or not them fighting over, but they were trying to go over, was Teresa's body. And so I don't know what to make of that scene. Which goes into, I guess I'll get into it now, Mac. I guess I'll get into it now.
Sure.
I don't know the timeline of this film. I don't understand
That is very difficult, yes.
where it fits anywhere, because as the movie went on, I was like, oh, this is before like this is before Laura died, because I saw, you know, Laura's
Right.
very much alive in this film.
Yes.
But then the more I watched, the more I got confused, because like, again, Teresa shows up and I thought she was the dead body. And then I was confused as when Cooper showed up, because the last episode that we watched, which is, for those that are listening, it's the episode of the podcast previous to this one. I was under the impression that Coop was entering the town for the first time.
Really quick,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you know this, but like for those in chat, if you're keeping up with it, which I don't know how you would, because one of them got taken down immediately and hasn't been able to come back up yet. But hypothetically, if you were in there in the first 10 hours, I have like 3 or 4 banked, so the last we watch isn't even available.
Yes. And so the last episode we watched was season 1, episode 2.
Yes.
And I was under the impression watching that last episode that, you know, this is Cooper's first time in the town. Like, he's just getting situated. Like, the thing that tipped me to that was the beginning scene of him at the hotel. And, you know, it seems like that was his first time meeting Audrey. Like, it's clear that he hasn't been staying at the hotel all that long.
Right.
And so when Cooper shows up later in this film, I was like, he seems quite situated. You know, he seems very like, I know the townsfolk, especially, and I'm going to jump ahead to the last scene, the very last scene of this film, where Harry is there. And like, I haven't seen like him meet Harry. And so I don't know if Coop already knows Harry, but they're just kind of familiar with each other, or if they meet each other for the first time in the show. But then that's confusing, because this, as I've seen it so far, is situated before Laura even died. And I thought the whole point of Cooper being in the town was to investigate Laura's death. And so that's why this whole movie is confusing to me in terms of timeline, because
Is
I
it
don't
future or is
know
it
where it
past?
seems.
As-
yes, exactly.
As the arm
like,
says.
as
Yes.
the arm says, exactly. And
Um,
so I think it's super interesting in that
Yes.
sense. So
Yeah. Yeah. So something that I will point out is that, like, right before that last scene of what you're talking about, it does say some months later, with the crow.
yeah, I completely forgot about that.
So question could be, do you think this takes place after at least that part takes place after season 2, or do you think it's right before season 1 enters, and like this is like right before episode 1?
Okay, I forgot. Thank you for reminding me about that some months later thing.
Yeah.
However, I still don't think that solves timeline-wise for me.
He is asking about Annie, who we know just got out of a convent.
Yes.
Later in this season. So it's pretty in late in season 2. So it's safe to
Yes.
assume that at that point we are
Yeah,
into
for sure.
season
I don't
2.
doubt that. Yes, for sure. But like in terms of everything else,
Oh
in
yeah,
the
no.
film,
Listen,
I don't know where to place it. Yeah.
There's one thing I want to point out. I misspoke during the reaction. This takes place in 1991. And when and I firmly believe this is why the David Bowie scene is this is the extended version of it when David Bowie shows up and then starts freaking out about the date.
Okay.
That's an extended scene, I'll tell you that much, because I am 100% convinced the reason why that happens is because he then says it's like February 1989, right?
Yes, he does. Yes, he says that. Yes. I have a note on here actually that says
and that is
February
actually
1989.
impossible according to the timeline they gave us. Like that is a mistake 100% because it would have to be 1990, I believe, and then this takes place in 91. I believe that's correct, or is it vice versa? Either way, that date is wrong.
Okay.
And
an asterisk next to it.
Yeah, and so that's I'm firmly convinced that's why that was cut. Is because they realized when they went back through the lore, they're like, oh, this doesn't match up with the timeline we wanted it to, so we're just gonna truncate this scene before he gets to that point. But like the reason why it's so important to have as an extended scene in this, outside of just completionism, is because it does give some certain clues and stuff to the rest of the series, right? So it's like caught in this weird place of like, if there's nothing else that's going to exist after this, it's fine to truncate it. But once they have more that exists after it, they're like, well, now we need to include it for lore reasons, but the date's wrong, and so it's kind of in this weird spot.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think that changes how I feel about Coop in that sense.
No, absolutely not. No, absolutely not. It shouldn't change any of that. Coop has a weird spot in all of this, for sure.
Yes. And it makes me think that, like, it puts into context of the show a little bit differently for me. I don't remember which episode, and I don't think the episode's out yet. But, like, there is an episode where I'm like, it's supernatural shit, Mac. Like, I don't remember when I said that.
That's like the next one we're getting into that I have to edit. I'm not editing anymore until I know what way I have to edit them. But yeah, I think that's literally next on the docket is where you're starting to be like, well, actually, so what you actually think it is at this point in time that it should be editing is Aliens.
Yeah, that's true. I was like, it's Aliens.
It's Aliens.
It's Aliens. But now I'm saying, now I've changed my mind on that it's not Aliens. It is, I do think it's supernatural stuff. And because of this movie, I think Cooper is a supernatural being in a different sense. I do think that.
Do you think he's like an Esper, or do you think he's also like a supernatural being itself?
I think he's a supernatural being, but he doesn't realize that yet.
Okay.
I think, I'm gonna put, oh gosh, I'm trying to remember what media I'm trying to reference here, but there's I think a video game where the main character doesn't realize that they are, in Persona 5. In Persona 5.
Okay, good. You're talking to the right group now.
Yeah. I'm gonna spoil Persona 5, so skip to whatever timestamp Max says when he edits this. Oh God,
don't do that to me. Don't do that to me.
I'm gonna spoil the end of Persona 5. But
okay.
You know when
it's Morgana. Morgana's when
Morgana. Yes, okay. When Morgana realizes.
Point, but yeah, I do.
Yes, when Morgana realizes that he is put on the Earth for the Phantom Thieves to he has one purpose, right? And he doesn't realize what his purpose is until the end. And so, I think Cooper is some sort of supernatural being in which, like, he doesn't know why he's exactly there yet. There's a couple clues that clue me in on it, and they are scenes in this film.
Yes.
And that is when Cooper is talking to Diane, but we don't hear Diane's reply. And I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, that's a weird scene, and I'm glad it's gone. I think that's the worst scene of the entire thing, and that's saying something.
And the other scene is the FBI scene, which is the scene that's a little bit after the Diane scene of Philip Jeffries, who is David Bowie.
Yes.
Going into what I assume is the FBI headquarters, and then zaps out. And the head of the FBI, I can't remember exactly what he said, but the head of the FBI says, "Oh, Cooper's new here." Like he says something like, "I just started. Like you don't have to worry about him. Like he's not a threat, basically. Like he's new here. He just transferred here or something." I can't remember the exact wording, but that was like, oh, like Cooper's like new to the office, and it's those two scenes in particular that I'm like Coop is like new. Like he's new to the town. He's new to the FBI branch. He's new to a lot. Like there's a whole it's like those kind of. It's not definitive proof, but it's like the circumstantial evidence that I'm like piecing together.
Yeah,
about
no,
Cooper,
for sure.
Basically.
I would like to highlight a thing to see how you feel about it. Miss says the arm made Cooper to investigate the murder. How do you feel about that?
Yes. I think that's why I think Cooper, like, I don't know what to think of those scenes of like the red velvet room.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if that's a dream. I don't know if that is like a vision that Cooper sees, but there is like
since we're absolutely going freeform with this, can I bundle in another question with that then?
Sure.
What about the other scene where it's still the group of people? We get the long-haired man, we get the woodsman guy slapping his knee.
Yeah.
Like what'd you make of all of that?
The light pole. I called it the light pole
Like,
scene. I called it the light pole scene because the vision of what I see before that is like the light pole with the numbers on it, and then it cuts to. So I called it the light pole scene.
Yes, very good.
I also don't know what to think of it. It's a lot of symbolism. I noticed it halfway through that scene that they were talking in reverse. Like they said the words in reverse and then they put it backwards so it sounded like proper, right?
Yeah.
And I thought I was like, there's so much symbolism in that scene. Like the dancing guy talks about marriage and like he's like at the end of it he says like we're now like married, and then he says what's the word?
To you I thee wed is actually what he says.
Yes. To you I thee wed. And that was pretty interesting. And overall, all of those scenes, I'm going to combine them. My first initial note was changing dimensions. That was my first initial note. And then my other note is like the nothing. So basically in time travel, you know, when you like, there's like in modern media and like a stereotype of time travel is like if you time travel too much, you can get stuck in between something.
Right.
In between past and present and future if you time travel excessively. And so that was my other thought of the red velvet room is like, is this like a state of in between where it's neither past nor future? It's like, and it's not present, it's just stuck.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of my thought process of like all of those scenes combined together. So.
Okay.
Yeah, that's. I don't have much to go off of other than that.
Okay. No, that's really interesting. I love to know more what you think thematically on that. Maybe we could talk later, but I would love to have you have like a night or like maybe after work on Sunday for me of a real quick record after you had a couple of days to think what that may mean.
To process it.
Just to get like that as the end tidbit of like what, like, because I really like, you're right. Those are very dense. Like
yes.
It is so clear that like it is very metaphorical, and even if it's happening in the reality of the story, that it has additional layers layered on top of it, right?
Yes. Yeah,
because
exactly.
you know, metaphor is very efficient, but also like it is dense, and so like I would love for you to have more time to think about it and process that. And if you need me to send you to find the movie, like let me know so you can just watch that part again if you need to, or whatever the case may be. But like I would love to get additional feedback later.
Okay, cool.
All right, so that covers actually a large portion of the interesting bits of this version of the movie. I would say that those parts. Okay, here's a question then. Since we're not really going scene by scene like we thought we were going to.
I realized I looked through the scenes and I was like, oh wait, this is like a lot.
We're jumping all around, and that's fine.
Yeah.
We'll make sure to touch on everything you absolutely need to talk about. But,
Yes.
Okay, so I've informed you that this was released in preparation for season 3.
Yes.
Where some of this stuff felt important. Since what parts of it stood out to you as being important for future seasons, besides what I've already highlighted?
Okay.
As someone who has no context for future seasons.
It's interesting that Laura is like either they're extended scenes or deleted scenes. It's interesting that Laura is the pivotal character in a lot of these. And so first of all, I'm wondering how the frick the movie is structured, because I
was gonna get to that question later.
Okay, I'm just wondering, like, where does Laura fit in the movie? Like, is she the pivotal character? It seems like she is the main character of this film, based off all the deleted scenes that she's in. And so if this is in preparation of season 3 being released, I mentioned it, I think it was last episode that I mentioned this to you, where I think you said, like, you asked me, do I think that Laura's storyline is wrapped up by the end of season 1, or if it was if it continues throughout the series? And I gave you the answer that I think in some places in season 1 it wraps up, but in other places it doesn't.
Specifically in the spiritual stuff, it wasn't.
Yes, especially in the spiritual stuff. And I think this is in preparation for revisiting all of that again. And so that's where my head is at in terms of where this story lies for me.
Okay. No, that's very interesting. Since you touched on the another topic I wanted to get into.
Okay.
Okay, so you saw these deleted scenes. There's obviously gaping holes in it.
Yes.
What do you think the movie, what do you think you're missing that is informed by the movie? Not by the series as a whole, but by the movie itself. What all do you think you would get? Like, what do you think the movie is based off of these deleted scenes, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at.
It's so interesting because you told me that season 1, episode 1 is technically a movie-length feature film.
Yes.
Like, it is.
With an alternate ending for international audiences that solves stuff. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And so I was under the impression that we were going to get the backstory of Laura within that first episode, and then kind of the last maybe 30 to 25% of that episode would be her death, and how she dies. But now I'm like, what the frick? Because that's this movie. This movie is the backstory, but this comes out after, and so now I'm like, so what goes on in the first episode? Where what's happening here? And so that's where I'm confused of the timeline of the show, because I'm just so how is this structured? Because each episode you say in the series is a day.
Yes.
A day of whatever happens in Twin Peaks. And so
I can't remember for sure if that very first movie is 1 day or 2.
That's fair. It
it's
could be
only
2.
1 or
I'll
2
give it
days.
that.
Yeah.
And so this one spans more than a couple days. This one spans quite a few, whatever chunk that may be, whatever the movie solves. And so what was your question? I'm like, I
What
have
do you
so
think
many
this movie
things to say
was about?
about
Like,
I don't know.
just say what you were gonna say. Like, this is way more interesting than any questions I could line up for you.
I don't know what the movie's about anymore. Well, like clearly the movie is about Laura. Like Laura, her backstory, how she died, like the pieces together of like, oh my god, I said the word pieces. Frick my life. Like what
Pieces that may be missing, you might say.
Pieces that may be missing, if I do say so myself, I guess. I don't know. And so I think the movie is Laura. Like, it is her story.
In which case, what do you think the first episode's about?
The first episode has to be about Coop. It has to be his backstory. Like there is no other way for the show to go. Like, how else do you convince the audience to watch the show? Because, like, if you're watching this like a normal person, you would watch the first episode first, and you don't know anything about it, and so it has to, like, Coop is the main draw, and so that first episode has to be Coop's backstory. This movie is Laura. It's that's like where I'm at with it, is like, this is Laura's story. These are the answers that were maybe missing throughout the season 1 that, you know, this solves, and maybe this wraps it up in ways that isn't properly wrapped up in the end of season 1. And so that's where I'm headed with that. That's my hypothesis.
Okay.
Is this is Laura.
So what do you think was up with the FBI agents at the start then?
I don't know where to fit that in my grand plan, Mac. In my grand plan with my red string and photographs. That's the photograph that I don't know where to place, because
how do they connect to Laura?
How do they connect to Laura other than Teresa? Like, it is Teresa that's the only way that I can think of with this. Going off of that, Mac, there's so much. My head is spinning. My head is spinning right now, because now I'm thinking about Teresa and how she fits in with the film. Because I thought she was dead at the beginning, but now she's
all we know
alive.
is that the FBI agents were looking for her.
Yes.
So, it gets into a question I want to ask as well.
Okay.
Because there's some definitely missing characters in the movie. Like, we didn't see Benjamin Horne. Yes. We didn't see. Yes. So, like, this part it kind of feeds into the actual question I want to get into of, like,
okay,
do you think that they're in the movie proper and they just were in the deleted scenes? And more importantly, with the information you have right now, who do you think killed Laura Palmer? Because if this is about her murder, then they would presumably be in, maybe not this version of the movie, but in the movie proper, right?
Okay, here's what I think. This is my conspiracy theory, okay?
Gotcha.
Agent Desmond and Agent Stan are looking for Teresa because she is tied to a series of murders that probably isn't explained just yet. Teresa has that ring that is supernatural and draws people in, and maybe the ring is the murderer. And so I think Laura was killed by Teresa. That's my first thought, is that Laura was killed by Teresa. She was scheming something. And the reason why I think she's a scheming son of a bitch is because of that phone call that she made to some guy called Jocks. And then she tells that man on the phone that she had phone sex with that, you know, he, like, she has to tell him something, and he has, like, this look in his face.
Yeah.
And so that's where my first mind goes, is that it's Teresa. Like, Teresa's, like, the mastermind for this, so.
And we know that she had connections with Laura because we saw them in bed together. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
I think her death was sped up by her use of cocaine. Like, it didn't make her think straight. I think there is like a connection with her downward spiral, with like being in close proximity to Teresa, and thus the ring, plus the cocaine, plus just all that bad shit juju that she's got going on around her. Like,
So do you think it's
that-
unfortunate circumstances for her of
Yeah.
just happening to be in these circles that have put her in a position that gets her killed?
Yes, I do
Okay.
think that is the case. I think, because we've watched this episode, so I'll bring it up now. The cocaine does play a big part in it. Like, I think that is like a central item throughout a plot line for season 1.
Comes
Because
back up
of how
again
we
in season 2.
Yes, exactly. It comes
Yep.
back up again in season 2 and kind of basically wraps up there.
Yeah.
In the end, with that, I don't even remember what episode that was at this point. But
13.
yeah, was it 13?
Yes.
Okay.
I know these
So-
episodes a little. Certain episodes I have very much know like the back of my head at this point.
Yeah. So that's where my head's at with this.
Okay.
That specifically, for Laura Palmer.
I do have a couple other questions, but I think we should get through the scenes that you want to talk about
Okay.
more specifically first.
Okay.
And then we can get to those questions. And if anyone who watched the movie wants to chime in with a couple scenes that they want to prompt our thoughts on, feel free. We'll get to them a little bit later,
Okay.
if they don't come up during this part. But yeah.
I guess I'll put these scenes in kind of a package.
Okay.
But the whole Bobby being I wasn't expecting Bobby to be a central character as much as he was. Like, I knew that, like, from the episodes we watched, I knew Bobby played a role, but I didn't realize how heavy of a role he played in Laura's life specifically. Which makes me, you know what, Mac? This makes me feel more sad for James. Poor James. Like, I just like Bobby is kind of like the real bad guy, like bad boy, you know, persona kind of deal. Whereas James is definitely more of a lost puppy that drives a motorcycle.
This
kind
is
of deal,
correct.
so-
That said,
Yeah.
I think that a lot of these scenes give some empathy for Bobby as well, where Bobby can come off as like kind of a prick in the main series, and like maybe not like a full-on villain, but kind of like an asshole.
Yes.
And I think this one, these deleted scenes, because the movie doesn't fix that, but these deleted scenes, I think a lot of them kind of do some massaging on that, of being like, oh, he's also in this extremely toxic relationship that he's the victim in largely.
Yes.
And so it provides that empathy for him, where then you're like, okay, and now he's transferring that hurt on, almost like this is a pattern.
Right.
You know, and so like I think that provides an interesting part to this, but I do fully agree with you being like, oh, like these scenes really just make James like he barely shows up in this version of the movie, where he shows up, takes her away, and then is gone for the rest of the movie. And you're just like, oh, this guy who clearly cared about her in episode 2 of season 1 and has this, you know, trauma about, well, maybe doesn't care about her so much because he hooks up with Donna, but like, you know, it is very much still like, you know, feels like this pivotal character in her life, and it's like, oh, he wasn't here at all. Like, she was fully just taking advantage of his lost puppiness.
Oh, it's just so like it paints everyone surrounding Laura as a victim. Like, Laura is a victim in the show because she died, like she was murdered. But like, for example, like Donna is a victim in a sense to Laura because Laura kind of treated her friendship with her as like a throwaway to get her next high, you know, like she kind of brought Donna into like a dangerous situation with like those two guys that Donna didn't even really know, and like those guys tried to pressure Donna into taking cocaine. Like in a sense, like Donna's a victim to Laura in that sense, right? And then now Bobby is a victim to Laura because like as we know by the second episode, like he's in like deep shit because of Laura's death.
Yeah.
Like, he like the money is gone. He's like addicted to drugs, cocaine, like in like that sense, like Bobby is a victim to Laura. And then James is kind of like, you know, the number one suspect at first in that second episode of like, he was the last one to see Laura alive. And there's so many like people connected to Laura that just have like really shitty circumstances because of what she does, you know? And so like, it paints Laura in a different light for me. Because like I was like, you know, like this poor girl, she got murdered, but there's nuance to her murder. Like there's nuance to like what happened to her, and like she kind of treated her mom kind of shitty. And like you know what, I'm gonna bring it up now while we're going scene by scene. That dinner scene with Laura and her parents, it really humanized Laura. Like it's interesting why that scene was deleted, because every other scene I've seen of Laura so far is her being like kind of a shitty person. Like she's not great. She's, you know, and then that one scene is like the only scene that really humanizes her and like shows her like she isn't like, there's a reason why she's friends with Donna in the first place. And Donna is a very caring person, as we've seen, like at least in season 2 towards James. Like Donna's very caring and like she cares about the people that's around her. And so that is the only hint that we see of Laura before the series of events happens. So
do you think any information will come out to change that opinion, or do you think this is like been spoiled for you of the slow rollout of like her more toxic traits that were going to come out? Like which way do you think that's going to fall for you watching the show?
I think watching the rest of season 1, I don't think we're going to get much more in it. Because I do firmly believe that this movie is about Laura and her backstory. I don't think we'll get much more of like that toxicness throughout the season 1. I think it'll be solely based off of Cooper and how he works through the case. Maybe we'll get glimpses, maybe, you know, maybe if Cooper talks to Donna a bit more, maybe she'll say, you know, Laura, maybe she'll make a note of it, right? But it won't be as prominent.
What my question more was like, do you think the information we're going to get from the rest of the show is going to paint Laura in a kinder brush than this, or will show that like your current opinion of her? Do you think it'll reveal that? Like what?
I think it'll paint her more nicer.
Okay.
I do think, and that's just because of like, I think that's human nature in general. Like when someone dies, you only remember the good things about them. You won't remember the shitty parts about them.
Right. Yeah.
And so I think as Cooper investigates her murder more throughout season 1, we're only gonna hear like, oh, Laura was a sweet girl. You know, she delivered Meals on Wheels.
She did start the Meals on Wheels project, and she did.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So we're only going to hear those good parts of her. I don't think anyone will touch the bad parts of her at all. I think that's what this movie will do. Is it recontextualizes her character.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay. Any other scenes that you wanted to talk about?
I'll run through them real quick because I don't want to miss any in case I have to talk about it later. I'll bring it up now because it's kind of a throwaway scene. The lumber scene of Josie and Pete. Funny. I can see why it was cut.
Yes.
But funny.
Well, like, okay, so in context, my favorite scene, and I don't know if it's going to come up in your notes or not, but where Laura walks into her house and the fan is going, and we hear
the fan scene.
The long-haired man say, "I want to taste through your mouth."
Yes.
And then the light just keeps increasing, like a spotlight's on her increasing.
Yes.
And
she's got a creepy smile.
Yeah, well, it starts like kind of normal and then gets worse and worse and worse, and it's in slow motion, and so like it's like you may not even realize it's changing until suddenly you're like, this isn't what I was looking at a second ago.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a very good and cool scene, and then her mom snaps her out of it, and then her mom's like,
yep,
have you seen my blue sweater, which had come up earlier? And she's like, what are you wearing? And she's wearing it, and then she starts crying and leaves.
Yes.
I highlighted that also for you as like, this is closer to what the tone of the movie proper is. is kind of closer to that than anything else. So in that context, can you imagine having something like that for like an hour and a half, and then also cutting that in with, I wanted a 2x4.
Yeah. There was some very good cuts made on the cutting room floor.
like, is that a great scene in a nutshell? Yeah, absolutely. That's so funny.
Yes. Yes. But in the context of the movie, hell no.
No.
Hell to the no. That's something that you put on TikTok as a throwaway thing to advertise the movie. It's like that.
That's the kind of scene that you put in the trailer for like a kind of an art housey movie to be like, hey, like people will be like, what the hell's this movie about? But that looked interesting, and then you go see it, then it turns out it's like, oh, this is so much darker. Yeah, 100%.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this movie came out too early for that kind of viral marketing, but like
it did.
If they did this movie in a modern times and then use that as like the TikTok or whatever, would have done gangbusters, and then people would go see it and be like, this movie traumatized me because it wasn't like what I thought it was going to be.
Oh my gosh. The other things that I will point out, like the fan, you brought up the fan.
Yes. Did you have any thoughts on that? Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. I think the mom knows her daughter is up to something. Like, I think she knows that her daughter isn't, like, she's not in the right state of mind. I get that vibe from the mom. It brings back into context of, like, you know how I mentioned earlier, like, Teresa is in close proximity to Laura, and that's why Laura is kind of going crazy, and, like, her death would be associated with her proximity to Teresa. I think, you know, the first scene, not the first scene, but, like, in season 1, episode 2, that scene you pointed out to me of the long-haired guy at the bed when her mom saw the long-haired guy, like, it kind of did a jump scare, like she imagined it. And so I'm wondering, does she get these visions because of her proximity to Laura at the time? Like, you know, they're at home a lot together, and so, like, is there like some sort of, like, not sickness, but you know what I mean? It's kind of like a sickness where it gets spread around kind of deal. And so that's where I think that falls in with that scene. Is like, you know, Laura's going crazy, and that's why her mom's, like, picking up on it too, and she's catching it like a common cold.
Okay. No, that's good connections. Very interesting.
Yeah. The other scenes that I wanted to point out that we haven't talked about yet was Shelly and Leo, the cleaning scene.
Okay.
I can see why it was. I can see why it was deleted, because, like, you know, Leo's abusive. Like, we don't need to see more abusive Leo.
Also,
the point
like,
has been made.
Weirdly, this scene undercuts that a bit because he's doing the cleaning. He's like, please do this while I'm on the road. And like, if you don't have additional context until the point where he, like, smacks her on the back of the head or whatever. But if you didn't have additional context, you would think, like, oh, she's there smoking, watching him.
And
then
like,
that happens. But then, like, you know what their actual relationship is. And you're like, this is not like how this, like, it feels weird to be depicted this way when we know
that's fair.
that, like, in 2 episodes time he beats her with soap in a sock. Right? Like we know that he tries to murder her in a season and a half, right? So it's like, is this really how we're depicting their abusive relationship? Is like him being like, I'm on the road.
Yeah.
Like, please take care of the house while I'm gone. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like not that would justify any of his behavior. It doesn't. But like to put that in the film as like what was pretty clearly probably one of their only scenes in the film together. I don't think that's a spoiler. It would feel weird, like it's undercutting their relationship.
Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah.
agree with that. Yeah, 100%. Other scenes that I'll bring up is Norma and Eddie. I mentioned it during the episode. I love them. Like,
Yeah.
they're the only bright and shining light in the show for me so far. They're so cute. No Nadine. We got a glimpse of Nadine.
They walk in to get food to Norma's diner, the one that she owns, and then she gets pissed seeing Norma's there and walks out. Which also weirdly provides weird context of like, does she know in the rest of the show?
Does she know? Yeah, exactly. Like, does she know of the affair, or does was she just grumpy that day? I don't know.
It's so weird. Like, why'd she walk in the first? Like, what is that?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly.
But, you know, Nadine has never been all there, so like, you know, whatever.
Yeah. Exactly. It gets brushed off because we know she's not all there.
Yeah.
So, you know, whatever. It's okay. Yeah, I really like them. It made me sad to see Norma at the diner by herself, but I'm glad that her business is thriving.
Yeah.
By the end of, but not the end of season 2, but like by season 2.
Yeah.
It's a busy spot. And then going through it, Hawk and Andy and Lucy make their appearance. And they're the same. I like them.
I don't get that vibe. I think you like one of them and maybe a second on occasion.
Okay, I like Hawk. I like Hawk and Andy.
Sometimes you
and
like
Lucy
Harry.
Sometimes, yes, exactly. Sometimes I like Harry, but Andy and Lucy are kind of just there. I think. Okay, I should explain. I like Andy and Lucy when their humor works for the moment.
Yes.
For example, Andy during the Pine Weasel fashion show, great.
Yes.
10 out of 10.
Yes.
Have Andy there. But in in a serious, like, sometimes he shows up and it's a little too serious and I'm like, oh, just shut up, Andy. Like,
Yeah.
I want to get to the good shit. Like,
this
I want
isn't
to
your
get to the
scene
meat.
to be in, Andy.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, like, don't steal the scene away now. Like, this is not
Yeah, because
for you,
we've talked about it before, is like in season 2 there's like a lack of heaviness on heavy topics, and a large part of it is like the framing, and a big part of that is Andy and Lucy.
Yes, exactly.
And so like by now you're conditioned to think that every time they're there, whether they are actually pretty minor or not. Like
Yeah. Exactly.
So questions, do you think they're in the main movie much at all, or do you think this was it for them? Because it didn't seem like they really had a plot line in these deleted scenes.
Yeah, exactly. The one scene where Harry and Andy were in like the basement waiting for the radio call from Hawk, like
You think that
maybe
might
they
come
have maybe, but I don't know if it, like, I don't know what the context is.
Right.
And so
Well, they were waiting
I'm
for the
not
drug
sure.
trafficking from Canada.
Yes, but like what else? Like where like is Andy gonna go to the scene and go, like, I don't think so. Like I as much as Andy's great, he's not a good police officer.
No.
Yeah.
So okay, in that case, let's bring up the one big thing there is Harry gets called away because of a prowler to what's her name?
I can't remember her name. I didn't catch it when the movie
Joan
was
Chen's character, Mrs. Packard. So that's Joan Chen, Mrs. Packard.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So he's actually getting called away while they're waiting for Hawk about staking out this drug trafficking to go bone Josie.
Yeah.
Just making sure you caught that part.
Yes, I did catch that.
It's not just Andy fucking off. He's going to go hang out with Joe Chen and Bone.
I did catch that.
Okay.
That's why I think I mentioned it in a previous podcast episode, but that's why I think that Harry is kind of bumbling at first.
Yeah.
At least in the first season, maybe up until the end. And Cooper kind of like sets him straight. Like something happens. Like I don't know what kind of character development happens, but I do think that Cooper is a very good influence on Harry.
Yeah.
I think that is top tier there. So he sets them all on a straight path, basically. I thought that was I guess it didn't surprise me. I don't know why that like I recognized that it happened and I was like, oh, he's gonna go see Josie. But I was like, what? I was like, oh, you know, like I didn't like.
Right.
I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, like that happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that does a good job in context of the film of highlighting something. I don't think it's worth being in the film.
Mhm.
But to highlight the timeline of when this is happening, you were like, oh, she has to die tonight, right?
Yeah.
That was that night.
Yes.
When he's just going to bone Josie and he's just hanging around. You know, Hawk may be doing actual work, but like, like the job
but he's doing
on,
different work. He's doing different work.
and even in that context, like the job that he's on, no one expects to really pan out, right? Which and so like all this is going on when there's a murder happening, and so like it's highlighting something that I think even in the deleted scenes, it does highlight something. I just don't think it's worth being in the actual film. That thing it's highlighting, I'm not necessarily gonna. If I remember to bring it up when we get to the eventual episode, I'll try to, but I may not remember. Any other scenes? Not that I'm rushing you, but you wanted a deadline, so I'm trying to get there so I can ask you a couple questions and make a few points myself.
We're getting through it, Mac. We're getting through the thing. Okay. Last couple scenes that we haven't touched on yet, but we touched on in bigger contexts was Bobby and his, you know, he killed a guy. Like, holy shit. I swear, I thought that was figurative. Like, I thought that he was like,
before this movie, no one thought that was real. Like,
yes.
I guess this is a spoiler. It doesn't come up again.
I was like, what do you mean, Bobby? Like, where'd you put the body? Like, who died? And so I was very like, oh, like shit, like Bobby's a bad guy. I was very surprised about that. I was like, oh, he actually is hardcore.
Yeah.
Okay, you go, Bobby, I guess. So I thought that was interesting. And okay. There's 2 more scenes, and I saved them for kind of last.
Okay, good.
For me to bring up. Okay, and that is the Annie scene.
Yes.
Where she is brought into the hospital. Her neck is slashed, and she's kind of in a catatonic state. And then a couple months later, she is in the hospital.
The months later is right before that scene.
Right. Oh, yeah, right.
So this is months later.
And she is in a catatonic state, and she has the ring. And I wrote down what she said. She says, Dale is in the lodge, and Laura has the ring. Oh no, sorry, I wrote my notes differently.
Yes.
Dale is in the lodge, and then she mentions Laura, but I didn't write down what she said about Laura. And then I made the note that Annie has the ring. Write it in your diary. Right.
Yeah.
Write it in your diary. And so that's why the white... Okay, Mac.
Yes.
I threw away the White Lodge when I first heard about it. Like,
it does
when
keep
we first
coming up,
started
doesn't
this
it?
episode, I was like, I don't give a shit about the White Lodge. I want to hear about the murder. But now the White... Like, Dale is in the White Lodge? What? Like, what do you... Like, Cooper? Like, what do you mean? I'm like that like blew my mind.
Oh, this is such a revelation for you.
Oh, it blew my mind. Like, what do you mean he's in the lodge? He's in Twin Peaks. Like there's like, is his mind in the lodge? Is his like does he visit the lodge regularly as a regular? Like that's why I think that Cooper is that entity that he is supernatural but doesn't realize it, because when he's asking General Briggs about his visit to the White Lodge, it's like he doesn't know what the White Lodge, like he doesn't know what General Briggs is talking about. That's why he's questioning him, and that's why General Briggs is like talking about it at the police station in that one episode. I can't remember at this point. And so I'm like, what do you like if this is some months later and Annie, like, that's why I'm like, where does that scene in particular fit in the timeline to what I have seen so far? That I don't know. I don't know where to place that in my head.
Yeah, so the movie, like I mentioned before, does like the main movie has like cards that tell you kind of, it doesn't give you dates, but it gives you more precise, like, oh, here's the times, here's, you know, this, that, lays it out that way. I'm not going to give you that information.
That's fair. Valid. Very fair. I like piecing it together.
Yeah,
like
I debated
this,
on letting you know that, because I'm like, that is information that was intended to be in the main film, and they assumed you saw the main film. But then I was like, but that's like the entire point of what we're doing, so maybe not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was a very big revelation for me when she said that.
Yep.
And then finally, the last scene, which is the very last scene, which is Cooper in the bathroom.
Yes.
With the mirror. I also don't know how to process that. Like, clearly Cooper is going crazy in that scene. Why? I'm not sure how that fits into the context of it. Like, is it the ring? I didn't see the ring in that scene. Is it that he's, you know, jumping between the red velvet room too much? Like, is his visits to the red velvet room just like messing with his head? Like, that's
like a Lovecraftian thing where like the closer he gets to it, the more he kind of loses it in reality.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Interesting. That's interesting.
Kind of where I fit in with that, because like I also don't know where that scene places in the general timeline.
Right.
Whether that is after season 2 has ended or is it during season 2? Like, that's where I don't know where to place that.
Do you
clearly
see?
It is.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. No. I was about to say, clearly it is like sometime, like Harry is in the room with him with the doctor.
Yes.
And so why is the doctor there? First of all. And so, like, does Harry seen the decline of Cooper? And that's what's addressed in that? And that's why he brought the doctor with him? Like, where does that fit, basically? Like, that's where I'm unsure of that.
Right.
Of the placement of it. So.
Yeah. What I was going to say is, do you now understand why when we were pitching new endings to the podcast and I was like, is there anything you want to like have as an ending? And you were like, remember to brush your teeth. And I've latched on to that as our ending.
Yeah.
Does that make a little more sense?
Yeah, it does.
But I haven't brushed my teeth yet.
I said that unprompted too, right?
Yep.
Like, I
give you no indication of that. And the second you said it, I was like, yep, that's it. And you were just like, oh, he's yes ending like he usually does. And I was like, no, obviously you tell people to go brush their teeth. Like, obviously that's what this should be. I'm pissed I didn't think of it myself.
I'm so happy. Like, Mac, what is this show? Like, are we connected now to the show? Like, what's happening? Like, this is too coincidental for it to be a coincidence.
Watching it out of order is still making it ingrain itself into you. Like it makes me so happy. I do get worried every time you bring up something. You're like, this, and like something in my brain's like, oh well, this is gonna be a big part of the show. like to be clear, when you kept writing off the lodge, which this is a spoiler. You now know that it is important, but like when you're like, this fucking White Lodge stuff or whatever, and I just have to kind of like keep my head down and be like, okay, well, I hope you get over that.
I don't know. I think it's like there is an interesting psychology phenomenon where if your brain can't rationalize it, then your brain just dismisses it. And I think that is where I went with that.
Okay.
Because like I just like I was like the White Lodge like because like I went into this show thinking it was a murder mystery. Like that is
to be
where
fair,
I was like,
you first entered the show, you didn't think it was anything, and you thought it might be animated. I regret like because I cut to hell that first episode. There's stuff that wasn't in the reaction part of it that I didn't keep that I deeply regret not keeping, and I can't go back and redo it because I went through the entire process of like getting it approved to be up there, and I'd have to redo it. Right. But a big part of that like unfortunately didn't make the first episode, so I'm glad we can bring it up now because maybe I can insert the clip here. So I have to remember to keep it. Is you talking about like not knowing what Twin Peaks is to the point, and you're like, so is it animated? And I was like, oh, you know nothing about Twin Peaks. Like, so yes, but yes, after the end of the first episode, you're like, yeah, it's a murder mystery where murders happen every 5 seconds.
And that's where my mind went. And so like when the White Lodge stuff came up, I was like, oh, like this will it's mental illness. Like that's what happened there. Like then so now that I realize it's like a bigger it makes me a little bit more excited about the show. Not that I don't like true crime. I love true crime. It's my favorite kind of genre to watch.
I can't handle true. Sure. That's not true crime. That's like fictional crime that emulates true crime. True crime in my brain being like that stuff where it's like, here's the murder of this girl that happened in real life that we're gonna delve into and talk to all their family. That's true crime, and I'm like, I hate
is
that.
Very deeply disturbing. It's deeply disturbing.
Well, like,
and
I hate knowing that it's happening in reality, but like obviously you need to have an awareness of it. But it also feels exploitative and like rude to like I can't do it. But Criminal Minds is great. I love Criminal Minds.
Criminal Minds is great. I was under the impression that this show was like that. I was like, Criminal Minds. I love that. And then it's become like Gravity Falls, where I'm like, oh, anything can happen.
I think the best way to because like the two things that were inspired by Twin Peaks that I think are on opposite ends of the spectrum, but let you know exactly what Twin Peaks is as a vibe. Is Gravity Falls was heavily inspired by Twin Peaks. Like they are open about that.
I get that vibe now. Yep.
And the first season of True Detective was heavily inspired by Twin Peaks. And so like when you're like, how could those be inspired by the same show? Like what is this?
That is super interesting.
I finished Twin Peaks and immediately watched the first season of True Detective, and I was like, oh yeah, I see this actually. And so like if you could somehow think that Twin Peaks is a parent to both of those things, that should give you I usually ask you, and I want to delve into this a bit more. These are the questions I was holding on to until the end. So hopefully we're near the end. No, not for me. I could talk to you about this for another 5 hours. I promise you. But you don't want that. So, but no. Normally I ask you, what do you think Twin Peaks is about, right? And I'll still ask you that in a very objective sense. But every time we've answered it so far, you've answered in a very much like plot-driven. What do I think the plot is about and the actual objective things are about, right? I think now that we've seen this movie, it's pretty weird, as weird as it sounds, it's pretty easy to compartmentalize it into 4 different boxes of like, even if they're not all the same plot lines, it's like, oh, Twin Peaks is about A, B, C, and D, right? Of objective things that happen, right?
Okay.
And even as more things layer in, it'll be kind of like this, right?
Okay.
So I want to ask you what Twin Peaks is about, but in a more thematic sense, because like we've related this project to Haruhi Suzumiya previously.
Yes.
To the point where I have that as one of the tags for the YouTube videos. And what Haruhi is about changes if depending on if you watch it in chronological order versus the broadcast order.
Yeah.
And not just in the storytelling, which it does change in the storytelling, and that's very purposeful of like, oh, you know, the season finale of broadcast order is episode like 6.
Yes, yeah.
And if you watch in normal order, you're like, oh, okay. So the reason why time travelers, aliens, all of this exists is because Haruhi is a god and wants them to exist, but she doesn't realize it. But that's kind of slowly fed to you in these other ones. And like you realize that the relationship between Kyon and Haruhi, like why that develops, but also thematically what it means for like why he exists the way he does as this person who goes along with the flow, never really self-actualizes until the Endless 8, which is part of why I love the Endless 8, even though everyone fucking hates it and it killed Haruhi. You know, I watch that like once a year. But like is like this process of like, what does it mean to break programming and God's own will of who you should be in order to break a time loop, right? And like it brings all this other new thematic stuff to it by watching Out of Order. So I'm curious to know like what you think of the show thematic. I think it's also important to highlight that it doesn't matter what the show's actually thinking it's about thematically, both in a death of the author kind of way, because obviously they didn't intend for us to watch it this way. I don't think we should pretend like it did, but also because like David Lynch's whole thing is like, whatever you bring to it, like I'm not going to tell you thematically what this is. You bring your own themes, right? Like, BYOT. And so like I want to know, and when I ask this, I like it's going to carry the secondary thing of like thematically, what do you think it's trying to say? Like whether it's on a meta level, in a personal level, what are the themes that you're feeling watching it Out of Order? Does that make sense? I know this is a harder and bigger question, but now
I was about to say that is a huge question, Mac, because
yes,
I don't know. Right now I don't know, because where my mind goes is that Cooper is a very he is a character that I don't know how to process quite yet. He is clearly something bigger than himself. Like there is some sort of like, whether that's a higher purpose or whether that is is there time travel involved? Like that I'm not sure. But what I do know is that Cooper is the central character. Like he is in the middle. And what is happening around him is like I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I don't know how to process that, basically. So in that sense, I don't know how to answer your question, because it is like, okay, the first thing I can think of, if I were to pick one, it would be karma. Like karma, what goes around comes around kind of deal.
Okay.
I think that with everyone that has died has done some, the people that I know of that have died have done some sort of like evil doing in the world, right? Like Laura was like, she victimized her friends, which I mentioned earlier. Like she wasn't a great person to be around. Another person I can think of is Josie. Josie was like, she tried to kill her husband, and like she is supposed to be, I haven't seen it yet, but she's supposed to be this femme fatale where things have happened and she causes things to happen around her kind of deal.
Right.
The other people that I know of that have died are like the drug dealers, the people that brought the cocaine into the town. And like, you know, any kind of drug dealer is bad in my book. And so like they kind of got like the karma that they, you know, brought on to themselves. And so that is one theme. Like I said, I don't know if it's karma, but I'm going to stick with karma because that's kind of where my head is at right now.
Right.
And the other theme that I guess I will go with is time travel. Now, how that happens, I don't know. But I do know that Coop is the central character to that. So that's what I have so far.
Okay. Very interesting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I guess the more objective, what do you think it's about? For sure, but like I feel like that's easier to answer at this point. Or maybe it's not.
No, just kidding.
Or maybe it's not, right?
Oh yeah, give me a couple days to process, and maybe I'll have an answer for you.
All right, yeah. Sunday after work, we'll talk about this real
Yeah.
quick for another, 15 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So I didn't put this in any specific ranking, just for anyone who's going into rankings. So it's hard to say. Do you agree with my rating of this one, where I put it? Which is our usual kind of ending spiel, right?
Okay. Objectively, it's bad. It's just a Gloggersborg of shit, right? Like,
Yeah.
objectively, it's bad. However, I like where you placed it. That I had just watched
Yes.
season 1, episode 2, and I have the context of half of season 2, I guess.
Right.
With it. And so I liked where you placed it. Whether it's better or worse than the next episode, I guess we'll find out next time.
Yeah, I think if we're talking in terms of like structure and stuff, like, I think a lot of this stuff should be in the movie. I've talked about it. I get why a lot of it was cut. And I think that like when I think so there's two different edits that fuse the scenes back in. One of them includes all of the scenes. The other one includes most of it, but like leaves out like the Josie scene, leaves out like
Okay.
Right,
Like the useless, quote unquote, useless scenes.
Yeah. It includes the stuff that keeps the vibe of the movie.
Okay.
I think that is significantly better, and I think it is better than the original film as well. Because some of this deleted stuff is important. That said, the deleted film is a very tight, very good movie. Because I watched both of these separately to see what you would find out based off of the missing pieces. And I will say the original film, very, very good. Especially if you assume there's no more Twin Peaks coming. But like, yeah, it's I think that the fusion of both is better than anything else we're gonna get. Structurally, this isn't a movie.
Yes.
so it's hard to rate it. But yeah, there are some things in here that I definitely couldn't reveal to you until we got to a certain point.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Fair enough.
All right. I think that'll end it. There will be a post-credits sequence where we talk on in a little bit, but
Yay.
Otherwise, brush your teeth.
Brush your teeth. Brush your teeth.
All right.
You know what?
Oh.
I remember.
Still recording.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Still record.
Okay.
This could be like an ending to the ending of the ending.
Oh my god.
I remembered why I said brush your teeth.
Oh yeah.
Day. And it's because I literally got back from the dentist that day that we recorded. Like, it was that day. I remember now. And my teeth, when they put the fluoride on the teeth
Yeah.
and it feels like, squeaky clean?
Yeah.
That was it. That is why I said that. And so,
Well,
there's your...
the way these things work out.
Yeah, the fate. You know what, Mac? You know what? Good thing it's a good thing I didn't close OBS yet. I have learned to keep OBS open when we stop recording so we can keep recording after we're done recording.
Yeah. Did you record again?
I am recording.
Are you recording?
I'm
Okay,
recording
good.
right now.
All right. So I'm gonna mute you again, so that way
Okay.
I'll sync your audio via that. Okay. The log lady in
The
there for
log
5
lady.
seconds, and
Yeah, literally 5
hey, I
seconds.
need your give me your thought process on that and your reaction, because the second you saw her, you're like, ugh.
Yeah. She's, I don't know, Mac. She's so like, she knows shit. That lady knows shit. She can't pretend that she doesn't know shit. She knows things. Her log knows things. Her log is a spirit that's her log. Okay, here it is. Her log is fucking Laura Palmer. That's her fucking log. That's the spirit that's in her log.
How do you settle that with that being before Laura Palmer's death? Or that could have been right after. Because we don't know,
I think
because
that's
the
Laura
Fate to
Palmer.
Black.
That's Laura Palmer. That's Laura Palmer. Laura
Okay.
Palmer died in the. Actually, I still don't know where her body was found. Like, okay. Here's another scene that I didn't mention while we were recording, but I'll mention it now.
Yes.
Was the dead body floating in the water?
Yes.
And it was like there for like 3 seconds or something like that. I don't
Yeah.
think that's Laura Palmer. I think that is another dead body. I think that is someone else.
Do you think that's maybe Teresa Banks or Ronette Pulaski? Because Ronette Pulaski wasn't dead, but she was in a coma.
Yes, I think that is Teresa in the water.
Okay.
I don't think that was because like she's kind of like in a sketchy, she's already living a sketchy lifestyle, and so
Sure.
like she's in a body. It was a body bag, I'm pretty sure, and so I don't think that how Laura was found. I think Laura was found in the woods somewhere. Like in Twin Peaks, like the trees and shit. The trees is a very big theme throughout
Yes.
the show. And so I think Laura specifically died in the trees. And I think the body bag floating in the water was Teresa. Which makes me, which goes to show, going around back to what we were talking about. I think the
Right.
log is fucking Laura Palmer. I think that the log is talking
Well, a lot
to
of
the
people are
log
fucking
lady.
Laura Palmer.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're right.
Sorry.
You're right.
I couldn't let
Yep.
that pass.
I can't deny that, Mac. I
Yeah,
can't deny
yeah.
it. So that's what I think. I think
Okay.
that the
And so you think because the log is Laura Palmer, that the log lady knows a lot more than she's letting on,
Yeah.
and because of that she sucks.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like just like tell Cooper what the log is saying. Like don't say, I hate it when here's the thing, Mac. I hate it
Okay.
when people are like, oh, if I go walk up to you, Mac, and I'm like, hey, I heard that Seven was talking something about this thing that you're looking up. And then you're like, what did Seven say? And I'm like, I don't know, go ask Seven. I mean, that pisses me off. Like now I have to go out of my way to go message Seven and be like, okay, so I heard that Jay said that you said something about the thing that I'm looking into. What is the thing that the info? Like it's just too much. Like just say it. Just say it. Just say
And
it.
now-
I heard. Oh, I hate
And now
it.
imagine
I hate it.
that Seven is actually a stuffed animal that you have in the one you use to hold on to while watching Twin Peaks. Like imagine it's that. Yeah.
Like, I'd be so freaking mad. I'd be like, bro, are you serious? Like, I'm not dealing with this shit. Hell no. I'm not getting paid enough for this. So yeah, that's why I don't like
Oh
the
my
log
God.
lady.
Oh my
So,
God.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Okay, so if I did buy you for like a holiday or whatever, late Christmas, I did get you a Christmas gift, didn't I?
You did.
Whatever.
You got me Cyberpunk
Cyberpunk,
2077.
another
Yes.
piece of media that I absolutely love. Yeah. But if I got it for you or whatever, would you go back and watch the Log Lady intros, or are you just not willing to do that?
I would, because I'm curious as to her
Yeah,
demeanor.
s-
Because
yeah,
I've seen
for
her like
your
a
own
handful of
information
times.
is what I mean. Like not
Yeah.
prompting from me, like of your own volition. Would you do that?
I've only seen her a handful of times at this point, like maybe 5 at most, maybe less than that. And so I don't know what to think of her. I just know that she's a piece of shit. And so I guess I would watch those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, that's good to know. Yeah, I just needed to know because she popped up for like 5 seconds and your reaction was pure disgust. And I was just like, okay, like I need to drill into that a little bit, actually. So that's why we needed to re-record, because there's no way I was going to ask you about that and not get your reaction.